Looks like there are some rumors going around that Zendaya might be joining the cast of Alita Battle Angel 2. With Avatar 3 on the horizon, James Cameron seems to be shifting a bit of focus back to his other fan-favorite franchise, Alita, which fans have been waiting on for years. So, here's a quick rundown of everything we know so far. It's been over half a decade since Alita Battle Angel hit the big screen, and while fans have been holding out hope for a sequel, updates have been slow. That said, things aren't standing still completely. Director Robert Rodriguez has made it clear that he's still passionate about continuing Alita's story. During a chat with Joe Rogan, Rodriguez spoke about how there's still so much more to explore in Iron City, and that he genuinely wants to bring another movie to life based on Yukito Kishiro's original manga. At one point, Rodriguez wasn't too sure a sequel would happen, especially after Disney acquired 20th Century Fox, but once he noticed that Disney was still letting other Fox films move forward, he began to believe again. And if things fall into place, there's actually enough material to go beyond just one sequel, possibly two. Rodriguez isn't the only one pulling for a second Alita film. Back in 2022, John Landau, who produced Avatar: The Way of Water, also said he'd love to see another Alita movie and had even spoken to Rodriguez about it. He wasn't ready to talk timelines just yet, but the interest was clearly there. Meanwhile, James Cameron, who co-wrote and produced the original, has also acknowledged he's working on it, though he's kept those details pretty close to the chest. If you're not familiar with Alita Battle Angel, the film is based on the manga Battle Angel Alita by Yukito Kishiro. It tells the story of a cyborg named Alita, who wakes up in a dystopian future without any memory of her past. As she navigates this harsh new world, she learns she was built for battle and eventually becomes both a skilled hunter-warrior and a motorball star. Rosa Salazar plays Alita, delivering a performance that managed to cut through the CGI and connect with audiences. The cast also includes Christoph Waltz as Dr. Dyson Ito, Keean Johnson as Hugo, and Mahershala Ali as Vector. Even though the project lingered in development for years, originally entering pre-production back in 2003, it finally made it to theaters in 2019 after Cameron wrapped up his work on the first Avatar. Once released, the movie did relatively well. Fans responded with enthusiasm, reflected in a strong 91% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, even if critics were a bit more divided with a 61%. Financially, it brought in over $404 million worldwide and earned a handful of award nominations, including a Saturn Award nod for Best Science Fiction Film. While the movie can currently be streamed on Fubo, a sequel still hasn't landed an official release date. What's kept fans talking all this time is the way Alita Battle Angel ends. The film closes with a bunch of unanswered questions and a massive tease for future showdowns, especially a confrontation in Salem and more insight into Alita's mysterious past. It's that open ending, combined with the striking visuals and compelling world building, that made audiences crave more. But 5 years later, the continuation still hasn't materialized. So why the long delay? It's not for lack of interest from the cast and crew. Rodriguez, Salazar, and Cameron have all said they're eager to return to this world. The plan was always for Alita to be a trilogy, with the first movie just setting the stage. But here's the problem. James Cameron is incredibly tied up with the Avatar franchise. Since Avatar: The Way of Water finally dropped in 2022, after a massive 13-year gap, Cameron has gone full throttle on building out that universe. He's currently juggling Avatar 3, 4, and 5, which are all in different phases of production, so it's not hard to see where his attention is going. Cameron is deeply involved in every detail of Avatar, from crafting the story to supervising the visual effects. And because he's a perfectionist who loves to push the limits of technology, each project tends to take a lot longer than usual. While Rodriguez directed Alita, Cameron's input as a producer and co-writer shaped the movie's identity in a major way. That same level of involvement would be needed for a sequel to stay true to what came before. So until Cameron clears some space in his schedule, Alita 2 is likely to stay on the back burner. Despite that, fans haven't lost hope. Rodriguez has said many times that the story was built to go further, and it shows. The original movie leaves plenty of narrative threads hanging, particularly around Nova, the mysterious figure looming over Salem. Then there's Alita's own quest to figure out who she really is and where she came from. In a lot of ways, the first movie was more like a prologue than a full chapter. Salazar has been vocal about her desire to return too. Her motion capture performance brought so much emotion and nuance to Alita that it stood out even amid all the visual effects. Plus, with how much technology has improved over the last 5 years, a sequel could be even more visually stunning and immersive. It would give the team a chance to go deeper into places like the scrapyard, Salem, and the war-torn backstory that still hasn't been fully explored on screen. There's also a lot more to unpack thematically. Alita scratched the surface when it came to exploring issues like identity, oppression, and what it really means to be human. But a second film would have room to dive much deeper. Kishiro's manga covers a lot more ground than what was shown in the first movie, and fans know there's plenty of rich material left to adapt. Now the big question is, will the wait be worth it? That's tough to answer right now. The first film had a modest box office showing at first, but it really picked up steam after it was released digitally. Streaming platforms and home video sales gave Alita a second life, and its online fan community hasn't stopped growing. That kind of continued support could help the sequel find even greater success. Still, the industry moves fast, and 5 years is a long time to keep people's attention, especially with so many other franchises competing for space. But in a way, that gap might actually help. If the sequel lands at just the right time and is handled with the same care and thoughtfulness as the original, it could capitalize on the nostalgia and passion that's only intensified with each passing year. There's also a chance that as Cameron gets deeper into the Avatar series, he might start passing off more of the directing duties to others, which could open the door for Alita to finally move forward. Rodriguez is more than capable of leading the charge, but having Cameron's name attached still carries weight when it comes to getting funding and studio backing. Since Alita Battle Angel is now under Disney's umbrella, it would have to fit into their priorities, and Cameron's blessing could be the thing that makes or breaks the project. In the end, Alita Battle Angel is a world that's absolutely worth revisiting. It's rich in story, full of heart, and loaded with potential. While nothing has been confirmed, the idea of someone with that level of star power joining the sequel is stirring up serious hype. If it happens, it could give the movie a huge boost at the box office. A well-known actor stepping into the world of Iron City might draw in a wave of new viewers and push the franchise into the spotlight again. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.